usual time, 4:45, I woke up on my usual way, ran the course I marked down mentally on the way here. To tell the truth, when I was stopped by the policeman yesterday, it was because I've been wandering back and forth in the same place while planning out a possible marathon route. I woke up the usual time, ran the usual time, and now I'm eating my usual breakfast menu. No different from the days when I was living together with my master in the mountains, my standard tempo of living. If there is a difference, it's my limited to the slight surprise when I opened my eyes and found a roof over my head. During my hike in Yamanashi, I got used to sleeping in the open, so when I woke up, instead of room, a slight feeling of unease, I thought, right, I'm living in a dorm now. Mild discomfort hasn't disappeared. Even now, I'm eating my corn cereal. It's hard to settle down in a new layer until it gets ingrained with your scent. Even so, I'll start living at this tempo every day from now on. Going to school every morning, so there is no real need to rush things. If I actively spend every day packing myself with potentially useful knowledge, someday this sort of lifestyle might come naturally to me. The effort strikes me as a little troublesome, but as my master once told me, when it comes to your life and your woman, a little bit of trouble is just about right. What a great master. Speaking of women, they're a simple bunch, but that doesn't make them any less difficult to handle. I learned that much in my first year living with my master. And my master's words, when you're a brat, running fast is enough to make you popular. When you're a middle schooler, the guys who fight will be popular. After that, it's the guys with brains who get the girls. In other words, run, punch, and read books, and you'll never run dry. What do you think? Short and sweet, right? That was her theory, at least. The things she said were always ridiculously simple. Honestly, I ignored those words with a snort the first time I heard them, but my master was a woman who put her beliefs into practice. Every morning she made me run. Every day she made me hit. Every day she hit me with a stack of books. Although I don't know if she's to blame, I still run 16 kilometers every morning and habitually read books whenever. Sometimes she was harsh, sometimes she was sweet. She would emit an abrasive, overpowering aura at times, but every once in a while she could be so gentle that I thought my brain would melt out my ears. That was my master, a woman with a sizable build who was nonetheless very picky about the little things. I had a hard time dealing with large women ever since those days, but being aware of that fact doesn't mean I can't fix it. It's not that I dislike them on a consensus level, but whenever I see a tall woman, I can't help but feel wary out of pure instinct. If you ask why I'm bringing this all up all of a sudden, well, that would be because I've just been reminded that there's a large woman at the school at well. Since this place is a student dormer, it's of course only natural that a community of students would already be living here, and it's entirely probable that they have their own rules that I don't know yet. Also, I'm a country hick, fresh from the rural areas of Yamanashi, so it goes without saying, I'm poorly versed in the customs. And rituals of this land. I have no way of penetrating their depths of significance that might be hiding in an action that, at glance, looks to be a simple case of bullying. What game is this? What are the rules? Puzzled faces staring back at me are familiar. It's the little girl and the big woman combo I arbitrarily named the Cicada Sisters when I first arrived at the school yesterday. What do you think? That's so. I suppose that means I'm irredeemably stupid. Please call me Moron Boy. As if we've been friends for 10 years, Cicada Sisters. I saw the pair of you from the gate yesterday. One of you was swinging a cicada around, the other was shrieking, if I remember correctly. I'll see what I can do. Yep. Kazumi Yuji. Good to meet you. I just opened my right hand, but the tall woman in front of me doesn't show any signs of grasping it. She's still stiffened on the spot, staring fixedly at my face. It looks as though she's even forgot to breathe. Something wrong? The big woman froze frozen expression suddenly melts, and she slightly shakes my hand. It's unexpectedly small, but decisively cold hand.
風見雄二ほらマキがあんたも
She's got some English and it's cute.
別に噛みつきしないわよマキナイリスマキナ
Iris Machina. Iris is a Greek god, and isn't Machina a Latin word? Literally translated would mean something like Mecha Rainbow Goddess. What country are you from?
耳で聞くと確かにそう聞こえるかもしれないけど漢字で書くと入り江の入りに素顔の素
Wasn't she speaking English just now?
ああこの子言語やがちょっとねそれに親の都合で6歳まで
I see. Well, good to meet you. Staring at my outstretched hand in silence, clings to Amane's back as if trying to hide herself. What's wrong?
ああごめんこの子人見知りが激し病院生活が長かったってのもあって同世代の男の子が珍しいっていうか
I withdraw my hand that I've been holding out towards Machina. There's no need to force her to deal with me in first place, I guess.
いいのよそうやって甘やかすといつまで経ってもこのままなんだからじゃないわよちゃんと挨拶できない
Is don't get any sex supposed to be an effective threat these days? This day and age? Or so I thought. But hearing those bites her lip tightly and extends her right hand towards me with strings. Then grasp her small hand and put on a natural fake smile I learned from my master. I'm Kazumi Yuji. Good to meet you. Her voice is small and marked with a dissonant lisp. Her hand, as tiny as her body, is not hot like that of a child.
ね怖くないでしょ好きな動物は
I like dogs. What about it?
答えてから質問するのね
I'm really not an indecisive sort. I don't hesitate when I need to come up with an answer. Even more so, I have an important decision to make. Compared to falling without even trying, I'd rather take action, even at the risk of a mistake.
かっこいい
Are you mocking me?
まさか
Then why'd you laugh?
なんでだろうね
I've heard answering a question with another question is a sign of stupidity.
ああそうじゃあきっと私はパパなのね
Got it, moron girl.
今はまだ笑ってるけど
What a troublesome woman.
あれもう行っちゃう
I don't feel like being late on my first day.
授業が始まるまでまだ1時間
I'm used to waiting. I'll kill time by sightseeing over there or something.
それが悪いとは言わないけど
I get that a lot. Well, I'll see you in class.
あユージ君ちょ
What?
私からも一つ質問
If it's something I can answer.
ごめん
If you got something to say, spit it out. No need to hold back.
また後で聞くわもう少しいいか
I see. Oh, what the? Oh, crap. Hope I didn't lose anything there. Oh. I don't understand the thought patterns of a large woman. My master would probably say, if you don't understand by now, you never will, but my own thoughts are more along the lines of, even if I could understand, why bother? Well then. Having said that to Amane, I'm confronted with the signs particularly worth seeing. They're easily an hour until but I've obviously woken up too early. Well, still better than being late, I guess. Might as well wait in the classroom. Right after I mumble those words, just as I begin walking down the hallway. What the... As I make my way towards the classroom the principal had described yesterday, I hear something resembling a scream. No, not a scream exactly. The hell? Although it doesn't seem to be an emergency situation, I'm certainly a bit concerned by this sound. It's dramatically out of place in the otherwise quiet morning schoolhouse. For the first time, I decided to approach. One of the other girls. I peer inside through the hallway window. I find a single woman shouting in the direction of the blackboard. Judging from the fact that she's wearing a uniform, it would seem she's a student, here like Sashi, Yamane, and Makina. Apparently obvious to my presence, she continues her routine.
ウォーミングアップ終わり。
After deeply inhaling,
せーの。あえいうえおあお、あえいうえおあお、あえいうえおあお。
what the fuck? All in one breath, she lets a string of syllables familiar as vocal tuning exercise.
よーし、一息で言えた。あたし、うん。あたしの言うことが聞けないっていうの？なんか違うな。コホン。あたしの言うことが聞けないっていうの？今のはよかった。あんたのためにやってるんじゃないんだからね。
While staring at the memo pad in her hand, she awkwardly but forcefully rattles off phrases one after another. Seems like it's the best to ask her what she's doing directly. This is the Broadcasting Club? In response to my question, or more likely my entrance, the woman leaps up in shock and draws back a good 3 meters. Desks and chairs clatter dramatically in her wake. No, I might have been hasty to assume that from the vocal exercises. The drama club seems plausible as well. You seem to be saying some kind of lines.
誰ですか？じゃなくて、誰なの？
Just I'm getting ready to rephrase my question. The woman with her own. Me, Kazumi Yuji. I'll be transferring here as today.
転校生？
Yeah. Nodding, I walk a few steps forward and stand in front of the woman. So what are you doing, some sort of rehearsal after all? Sorry if I interrupted.
演技なんかしてないしてない。すよす。だから何の遠慮もしなくていいの。
Which is it?
いいからそこに座りなさいよ。
I don't quite follow, but I start asking questions, she'll probably get even more noisier. So I chose the path of the least resistance.
慌てない転校生なんだからファーストコンタクトが。
After I flop down on a chair, the woman mutters to herself in a low but perfectly audible voice.
私は松島みちる。よろしくね。
In contrast, she delivers her self-introduction with artificial brightness. That's so. Initials MM, huh?
そうよ。だからってド M ってわけじゃないんだからね。
Nobody said anything remotely like that.
あ、ごめんなさい。じゃない。そう聞きそうに見えたの。
Do you want to be called a mashist that badly?
したくないわよ。なんでそうなるの？
Quite an energetic woman. She drops the subject and forges boldly on ahead.
そう。私はこのクラスで委員長的なことをしているわ。だから何？
What does that sorta mean?
それは委員長は他にいるからよ。
Fair enough.
妙に物分かりがいいわね。まあいいわ。それと。
The woman's voice suddenly grows
前も
quieter.
って聞いておくけど。
I wouldn't call myself an enthusiast.
聞いておいてよかった。
Since she clears his throat effectively.
じゃああなたは私のことを特別に名前で呼んでいいことにするわ。やば。なんかまずいこと言っちゃったかな。テーブルではこれでいいはず。今のもう一回。
You want me to call you Michiru?
そうよ。それでいいの。
She hums to herself and nods emphatically. Apparently satisfied with this result. Next, she takes a colorful wafer and of some sort of a small container and crunches it down vigorously. What are you eating? Wasn't asking. I was just wondering what those were.
ただのラムネ菓子よ。それがどうかした。
That's so. From the way you were showing them off, I was pretty sure you wanted me to ask.
うち るためによ。あ、なんか今のうまくいった。多分今のそうよね。
Got a strange sense of deja vu from her phrasing just now. What was it? One of those long advertisements they put up inside of trains? Since I don't ride them often, the few I've seen stand out in my memory. Right, they reprinted that idiotic article from a woman's magazine about how to make men fall in love with you. Purposely treat them coldly at first in order to create a contrast for your affection when you make more.
何いきなり考え込んでるのよ。で、こういう時はなんだっけ。私の美しさにぼーっとなっちゃう気持ち。
You're supposed to be. So you're supposed to be a Sonatore?
違うわよ。いや、違う。そうなんだけどって。
Covers her mouth with the left hand and staggers backward in apparent shock. Reaction is a bit puzzling, but I think I probably hit the bullseye. I see. I think I understand. You're playing a Sonatore in an attempt to attract male attention, yes? But there's still some points I'm not clear on, like that hair. Why are you bleaching it? Please, a genuine blonde has more natural tone. That's not that artificial looking gold color. I know a few. That's so. Next time I happen to visit America, remind me to pick you up some better hair dye. So as I was saying, why bleach it? The hairstyle is a little odd too. It's not one that I see often. The way it has to be? Begins to mumble her words under her breath as if to enumerate the curse's power. Jabs out her index finger in my direction and... She runs out of breath in grand style. The curtain finally drops at Michiru's one-woman show. Echoing of her ragged breath is the only sound in an otherwise silent classroom. Exactly 30 seconds pass. Stuff being a Sonatore. Got it. I'm not sure if that was what she was looking for, or if she's just lost the will to go on, but Michiru glares at me with emitting a sound of reminiscent of a malfunctioning industrial machine. Anyways, let's get along, Michiru. Yeah, it goes without saying. I plan to get along just fine on my own. It's really easy being a Sonatore. It really isn't easy being a Sonatore, is it? Finally breaking down, begins flinging waste paper, permanent markers, and anything else laying around in my direction in attempt to dry me off. Are you crying? Sorry, my bad. My attempt at an apology seems only fueled by your anger, so I temporarily withdraw. Class is starting in another 15 minutes, but it should be fine. I'll just kill some time somewhere. Yo. Yo, yo. I'm in support for the start of class. Practically the moment after I re-enter the classroom, Amane and Sachi arrive. The Sonatore from earlier is looking at me with a naked aggression, but noticing the arrival of others. Resuming the performance in question, she promptly calls out to them. The instant her greeting is returned, runs over noisily and shakes her hand in front of Sachi.
てって言ったでしょ。でもこれはみちる様が絶対だからあれはその冗談で
While glancing over in my direction for some reason, desperately entreat Sachi Amane, leaning on the desk, seems to be occupied with all the laughter.
そんな泣かないでとりあえずはい泣きません。
Innocent misspeaks. What? Watches her cautiously, sweating heavily.
はあ、わかったわよ。はいみちる様。
Staggers away back to her seat with the final lip rag. You feeling alright, Michiru-sama?
殺すわよ。
Sorry, just wanted to give it a try. Michiru collapses weakly onto her desk. Lisping voice sounds from the rear of the classroom. Seems like she might not be used to my presence yet, judging by the way she beelines straight for Amane. Amane hides herself behind her and steals glimpses at me.
おはよう。あんたの人見知りというか男見知りは本当に筋。マキナ大丈夫よ。ちょっとムカつくとこもあるけどこいつはそんな危ない人間じゃ。
Appreciate it, Michiru.
別にあんたのためにした。決まった。
Keep up the good work. Apart from the large woman, this bunch seems to present quite a variety of communication difficulties. Nothing but fantastically normal students here, eh, Principal? The perfectly normal principal appears before my eyes. Hey, wait a second, there's only 4. As we arrive at the beginning of school day, I noticed the difference from the information I heard yesterday. Standing at the podium, the principal noticed the regularity at glance. Her tone seems to be asking if anyone's familiar with the circumstances.
ここんとこずっとそうだし。確かに最近は夕方からしか。ユミちゃんどうしたのかな。何かあったんでしょ。
Apparently, I'm not the only one with questions about our lone tyrant.
まあいいわ。風見くんの紹介もしたかったけど、そのうちに会えるでしょ。
You're strangely tolerant.
ちょっといろいろとあってね。じゃあ出席を取ります。
From an open window, the scent of tide flows into the room. Perhaps because of the walls and steel fences surrounding us. On all sides, it's not easily to remember this place, in fact, close to sea. In contrast, the breeze, the blue skies, imitations of freedom, the gray of those jutting fences speak of denial and rejection. While my classmates raise their voices energetically, I pass the time to staring into that sky. School life, huh?
ここが視聴覚教室です。すべての席にリスニングとヒアリングの機材が。
Looks that way. I can tell from glance that this place is well equipped. Using the time after the homeroom period, I get into a small introduction to Cole's facilities. But normally this would be the principal's job, but she to be occupied with official duties.
ライブラリはすべて外部だから、ここには DVD とかブルーレイとかは一本。
Which would make it checking a movie out impossible, I guess.
そうですね。あまねさんはそれで。
Sachi smiles in a bit wearily as she speaks. Most of this stuff is probably in that pamphlet somewhere, but Sachi's explanations were comparatively to the point and clear and easy to understand. seems she's actually quite intelligent.
過去に放送されたテレビ番組も全部ではありませんが鑑賞することができます。ないものについて
Looks like they weren't that sloppy on casting after all.
何のドラマの話ですか？
School drama currently being broadcast.
以上になります。
Having completed the general review of the school facilities, it comes to an end. Thanks, it was a big help.
いえ、これもクラス委員。
I guess so.
それより風見さんはまだ
Yeah, there's still a classmate I haven't met yet after all. Hearing my Sashi's brisk tone gives way to a hesitant mumble. What?
いえ、なんで
After a brisk bow, she runs off down. Did I trigger a death flag just now? I don't think there's a single person in this world who would worry after that kind of ominous foreshadowing. Well, that might be an overstatement. There are some pretty carefree people out there. I'm just not one of them. Seems like it would be best to be on my guard. Or more so than usual. Light flooding through the windows shifted from the overhead to my side. It won't be that long until the sun sets. Departing from Sashi, I walk the empty hallways alone. My surroundings are very nearly soundless, except my habitual quiet footsteps. That doesn't sound very quiet. However, inside the stillness, I sense a definite presence at my destination. She finally showed up. I hear a faint sound from the interior of the previous silent classroom. With that, I open the door. The moment I enter the classroom, tension fills the air. And a window, seat, desk in the middle of the classroom, and chair rattles as its occupant turns to face me. Immediate impression of the girl, she doesn't appear particularly friendly. Yo. Well, it might not be the most polite first greeting. I call out casually as I approach an order to demonstrate my lack of malicious intent. Saki Yumiko, right? Yumiko? Saki Yumiko? Sakaki Yumiko, right? Her expression doesn't change. Sitting on the chair, absolutely stock still, she stares at me fixedly. I'm Kazumi Yuji. I'm the new student here as of today. As I come to a halt in front of her desk, so I'll be your classmate as well, as it seems. Pulling out a chair from the desk in front of her, I sit down. At the moment, we're about a meter apart. Nonetheless, the woman stares at me so tensely that she seems to be forgetting to breathe. Rather than staring, her expression could probably be more accurately described as glaring. I wasn't able to introduce myself to you in the morning. Heard you probably be around in the evening. Kept talking regardlessly, but no response is forthcoming. Maybe she's got a psychological problem with men like Machina. But then again, she didn't try to run when I approached her. Changed my position in the seat to face her directly. Straightening the chair, I leaned forward slightly. The motion has closed to 1 meter gap between us down to 70 centimeters. I'd like to at least confirm your identity. Hey! As if I declare her refusal to acknowledge my existence, the woman stands from her seat, briskly moves to an exit of the classroom. Oh, at least they're responding to me. I follow her immediately. When opens the classroom rear door, enough for one person to pass, and tries to slip her way outside. Hey! Calling out again, I try to follow her through the gap. In that moment, the woman forcefully slams the door shut. She clearly closed it, knowing full well I was trying to follow. Her expression betrays surprise. Maybe she knew expecting me to get my hand caught in the door and then back off from having it slammed in my face. Instead, the door she attempted to slide closed firmly, held open by my hand, an outcome she apparently hadn't been prepared for. Could have broken my hand, you know that? Although she's the one who's trying to shatter my fingers, she's glaring at me like I'm the bad guy here. What exactly did I do to deserve this from someone I just met? I'm just looking for an introduction is all. Opening the half-shut door, I take a step forward. She doesn't back down. Quite the greeting. I stop the motion of her hand and 5 centimeters before its target. It isn't the most efficient block for the purpose of diffusing the reckless hostility. I was expecting something of the sort, but the favor of the classic slap to the face I see. Retaining my grasp of the woman's wrist, I stared her down short range. As for the woman, she's staring right back at me, her open eyes with shock completely still. Well then, let me ask you again. Strong orange glow of the evening sun illuminates the classroom. Are you Sakaki... Saka ki Yumiko. Her expression hostility is hostile as ever. The woman slowly opens her mouth. With an air of slight resignation, clearly unwavering and refusal to any relation to me, she speaks. Okay, good to meet you. As the evening sun fell, its light dimmed, and the classroom filled with shadow, with the sound of Yumiko's breath and the faint roar of the waves beyond the walls, the curtain was raised on my normal student life. Really? 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 Oh my god. That was just the... That was just the prologue? Okay. Each of these girls have a backstory, and some of them are quite interesting. If you haven't seen the anime, I would do it. It's actually really good. Actually, quick save. Alright, gonna end this first part here. Bye bye.